What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy JR in for coming through and boosting up the coin. So, we've got a slew of updates after yesterday's shenanigans. Cabalagans shenanigans is what it was, man, for sure. Okay, let's start off with the news you're probably waiting for. Chris Eubank Jr. has officially made the £170 limit. Morning weigh-in. Here's his post an hour ago. Fight day weigh-in complete. Rehydration restriction is over. Now all that's left to do is rock up 220 pounds bone dry lean and blow Mr. Egg's back out. There you go, that's what he said officially. So he's coming in 220 pounds bone dry lean, people. He's putting on 50 pounds in the next 10 hours. No, he's not really, but still. So that kind of worries over with for now. But we've got a bunch of other things to talk about. And in fact, let's get to the controversy, even with this morning weigh-in situation, which might be a little bit worrying. Here we go. So this came out at what time? This came out at 8 a.m. And I think they were supposed to weigh in at 8 a.m. Check this out here, look, watch. At 8 a.m, Conor Benn weighs in at 8ish, right? Ben under the limit at second day weigh. Conor Benn has weighed in 165 pounds at Saturday's second day weigh-in. 8.6 pounds heavier than the fake weight. That was a fake weight yesterday. Watch my videos from yesterday. That weren't real. That 156.4 was fake news. But anyway, as it pertains to Eubank, it says here Chris Eubank Jr. has not weighed in yet. Now bear in mind, this post from him came out an hour ago, so we're looking at 11 o'clock. And the reports were, several people have said, not just this, that Eubank only weighed in about 10 or something. So he's turned up weight to the rehydration weigh-in. No, I can't justify, unless he's had a good night's sleep, I can't justify why you'd turn up late for the rehydration weigh-in. You want to be there bang on, so you can then have an extra 2 hours to refuel. I'd have thought. What do I know? Probably nothing. So there's a little bit of that knocking around. Is he proper? Did he have to? Some people are saying, and even Eubank mentioned yesterday, he's not sure what he was going to do after the £160 weigh, and he wasn't sure if he's going to put loads on and then get in the sauna on Saturday morning, or if he's just going to try and teeter under the limit. This is wrong, man. I don't like rehydration clauses, and I don't know what Ben Shalong, and we've got some videos in a second, I don't know what Eubank's team's doing, man. They seem messy. Yeah, he turns up late allegedly, although there's some controversy. Eubank's team are saying Eddie Hearn hit us with it okie doke. Eddie Hearn told us to be there late, essentially. Apparently Eddie Hearn told him, yeah, don't get there until 12:30, man. They got there at 12:30, and they said, oh, you're an hour late. But again, why are you taking bars from Eddie Hearn for? Yeah? I'm not taking no bars from Eddie Hearn. What's the paper say, man? What do not that the officials aren't corrupt as well, but I'm trying to get some official source. No, my op sent texting me, and that's the setup, innit? Yeah? That's the setup. Your op texts you saying, yeah, bro, I'm going to meet you here. I'm going to link you here at this time. You get clipped. Get your wig pushed back. Since when do you take advice from the ops? Since when do you take pertinent information from the ops, man? Where are they doing that at? Eubank's team messy. There's no one at Eubank's glove inspection. No one was there from Team Eubank. Then after the fact, they're complaining. There's no one there for Conor Benn's weigh-in. After the fact, they're not even complaining. They're cut to me. I don't know what's going on. Honestly, but do not be shocked if it's a scam. Yeah? I get the feeling that Eubank's looking like a bit of a clown right now. It looks messy, is what I'm saying. And the last bar about Eubank, for now we'll do, is this one here. Sky News put a video out. I'm going to find it somewhere here. And they said that Eubank weighed in at 169.4 for the morning rehydration weigh-in. He did it in a Louis Vuitton jacket. Anyway, let me show you before it's like, what? Is this real?
Yeah, we've got a fight on our hands now. Chris Eubank Jr. has just weighed in and he has made the weight. I can confirm that he made 169.4 pounds. He had to come in under 170 as per his rehydration clause. He's done it, and I'm told just now in a message that he's done it in a Louis Vuitton jacket. So that is a statement from him that he has got room to spare.
I mean, people, come on, man. If you had room to spare, bro, you could have been showed us that room at 160. Right? Now, some people are saying, well, maybe it's a publicity stunt. And I tend to believe that. It did create a lot of drama. I always missed weight. At the same time, when you watch the video of Eubank Jr. and that Majad dude, his manager, and they're saying, get the cameras out, it seemed genuine to me. It didn't look like people who knew they were going to come in over. Majid looked angry. Now, could that all be staged too? I think it looked genuine. It looked genuine to me. So, what are these men doing? Seriously, what kind of clown operation is this? Now, what we can't tell is Eubank put this picture up from his Instagram, which I just showed you, of him on the scales. Now, one of the two things has got to be true. Either Eubank genuinely weighed in at 169.4 and he wasn't in a Louis Vuitton jacket, or Sky News is wrong. Or either way, you get the point. Someone's wrong here. Yeah? I'm hoping he didn't weigh in with a jacket on. But why would the Sky News guys lie for? Well, they're not going to lie about it. They're putting the narrative out there. Oh yeah, he weighed in 169.4 with a Louis Vuitton jacket on. This guy Eubank, man. I mean, if he gets the job done, who cares? But if he don't get the job done, and Mush money gets bumped, because this dude clowning off, trying to prove points, again, a bit like when he weighed in 157 when he didn't need to. Too much ego, man. How much does a Louis Vuitton jacket weigh? That's probably, what do you think, £1.5 pounds? Who knows? Some of them jackets are thick, man. It could be a kilo there. But a kilo is probably conservative, thinking about it now. Let's call it a kilo. That's £2. Why? Even if you call it a pound. A Louis Vuitton jacket don't weigh a pound, man. Unless it's an air breaker. They don't make air breakers. It was at least £2. But let's call it a pound for argument's sake. This dude could have put a pound on a water. Instead, he's trying to prove, oh, I've got, you heard the woman say, oh, I've got gas to burn. Yeah, that's all fun, man. That's all fun. And if you win, great. We can all look back and laugh. But if you don't, it's just not the smart thing to be doing, trying to prove points. And a lot of these fighters, they have big egos. But egos, they can help you fight to some extent. But listen, when you start getting tired, because you chose to put a Louis Vuitton jacket on instead of 2 pounds of water in your body, there's no amount of ego can change that. You trying to be too smart, too kind of slick Rick with it. It's just not the vibe. And it's one thing, if he came in on point yesterday and there was no dramas, he weighs in like he normally does at 159 and a quarter or 159 and a half, we can say, well, he just the boss. But you're messy yesterday, running around the place, turning up late. You want to weigh in ASAP, so you've got more time to rehydrate. You've come in today rocking up at 11 a.m. late, essentially. Could have been there at 8 o'clock. I thought he was going to be there spark at 8. Get there spark at 8. Don't put much weight on. Put 9 pounds on, 9.5 pounds on, and get there at 8 a.m. Bosh, you got another 2-3 hours extra. Rocking up at 11 o'clock. Come on. Can we read into this? Well, I'm not reading into it. I'm still staying steady, my bet, but it's not looking... All of the outside things, it's looking like Eubank's looking like a clown. And all of his team, which we'll get to now, I don't know what's going on with his team, to be honest. Let's get this Big Nick here. This is Eubank's manager. Yeah, Big Useless Nick. Ain't gonna lie about it, man. Big Useless cotton picker, man. This dude here. They're questioning him on the glove situation. The weighing is like, well, I don't know. And, Eddie Hearn told me to get there late. I got there late. I'm like, where they find these cotton pickers at, man? Seriously. I just don't get it. It's like everyone's on Conor Benn's team. That's how it feels for me right now. But Eubank himself ain't speaking out. I guess he's got to stay calm. I guess he picked these jobbers to be in his team, so he's not used to nothing else. But listen to these bars here.
As manager, bit of a chaotic 20. Thinking Media powered by BYD with Napa, Chris Eubank Jr.'s manager. Bit of a chaotic 24 hours. And one of the things you said to me yesterday is never not made weight.
Yeah, I jinxed it.
Why did you say that?
I jinxed it. Listen, when he was, half an ounce over, They gave him 4 minutes to make the weight. Listen, it's done and it's done now. He's got a penalty. He's going to pay it. We're just more excited for the fight tomorrow. And
this has been in that. We've got more to play here, but I want to stop it there. If you watch enough of these videos from Shlong, Eubank's trainer, and this dude here, Napo, his manager, they all say, oh, well, you know, it's done now. And no one's talking about the Moody Scale video that we did yesterday on my channel. And it's out there. Like, I haven't heard these men say nothing. They're like, yeah, well, you know, we got cut on the scales. Conor Henn's, who knows what Conor Henn's doing with his weight? He weighs in 156, which makes us all assume that he's light. And then in the rehydration weighing, he weighs in 166 or 165. So that shows, that don't mean no one does that. Why would you be 3.5 pounds over if you plan on coming in 170 or 166? You wouldn't. You'd come in bang on 159.5. So that weighing from you, I think Conor Henn was 165.5 at that weigh-in, is my base case. We know them scales was weighing light as well. I think, and the way that watch the video from yesterday, Conor Henn gets to the scales and he jumps on. And he's like, whoa, these scales are a bit light. And the guy's like, don't worry about that. The commissioner, the BBBOC commissioner says, don't worry about that, Conor, man. The top off, mate. You're done, mate. Go home. Don't worry about it. We're going to cook Eubank. I swear down to you right now. Watch the video. I'm making 10 lies here. I think Conor Henn was 165 yesterday. Seriously. He's 165 yesterday. Jumped on with a light scale. Bosh. And he's off. And he's just rocked up for the rehydration weigh-in. It makes no sense for him to come in 156 and then put... He must have cut weight. You don't cut weight. Who cuts 3 pounds extra weight to have to put it back on again? No one does that. So for him to re-weigh in at 165, oops, it was a scam yesterday. Conor Henn didn't weigh in at all. It's all rigged for Conor Henn. Smaller ring. Moody gloves. This is all documented. Smaller ring. Let me show you the evidence now. For some of you slow man, ain't got the bars yet. Here's the bars. Stop playing with it, man. Look at this one here, look. Gosh, the ring for tomorrow night's Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Henn fight, 18 foot, which is smaller than the rings typically used by the British Boxing Board of Control, as at the Conor Henn. Eubank's team is sitting there, well, you know, we're just going to get on with it, and I get that. That's like the on-site mentality that a fighter needs to have. Your big black ass ain't getting in the ring, though. You're supposed to be handling the P's and Q's, making sure everyone's staying correct. I'm not having no one on my team. With that video I saw of Conor Henn getting on the scale, all, whoa, and they're all sitting there putting a kettlebell on it. Is it ready? Is it not ready? Not one man in his team has said nothing. Not one man in his team was there. They're supposed to be there. They're supposed to be there when he's putting the gloves on. What are they getting paid for? What's this job of getting paid 10% for, man? He's not a nutritionist. He didn't need to be there when Eubank's doing his weight cut. If I was his manager, I want to be there at the weigh-in and the gloves. Fact. Instead, oh, well, you know, we're just worried about tomorrow. That's all good. That's all good when you win. When you don't win, it's too late. Your job as a manager isn't to worry about the win, and you're not a trainer. You're not a fighter. Your job. This is where you create your value as a manager. You're making sure everyone's butt's tight on the other team. These dudes aren't even there. He don't know what's going on. This guy's taking the bars from Eddie Hearn. Yeah, boss, get there late. Mugged him off. Yeah? Eddie Hearn ran game on this dude's ass. It's feeling like 1790 out here, man. Colonial times. Yeah, Massa Hearns ain't supposed to be running no games on your ass, man. You way too big and black for that to be happening still in 2025. Come on, bro. Tighten up. Seriously, tighten up, man.
Is this going to be an issue for him, obviously, in the fight? Is it going to make him weaker? No? What makes you so confident?
Taking that W back to Dubai.
Yeah? And then obviously the issues with the gloves. I think some man mentioned about the horsehair. What's happening with that?
Yeah, no, got lawyers sorting all of that out, yeah. So that will all get sorted, and tomorrow Conor's going down.
I spoke to Frank Smith and he said it was a case of horsehair, and that was a Conor Brook fight, and this is different.
I'm not sure of the details of the Conor Brook one, but the glove they provided is not what is allowed in the contract. So the lawyers are going to do their job, and that's going to get fixed easy.
And then the fine. Why is the fine? Like, who negotiated that? Because people are a bit like spun out. Why is 0.05 ounces costing him $500,000?
Because they see it as this overweight. It's over 160. And for me, it's like, come on, it's like lighter than a teaspoon. But it is what it's in the contract. It is what it is, isn't it? So
the fact he's over. Listen, if I'm a manager, yeah, I'm saying, listen, man, we ain't admitting nothing right now. I got the evidence. Them scales was moody. That's what I got. We run that. We playing defence right now. Deny, deny, deny. We was on point. We'll test it in court. Oops. That's what we'll do. Because for all we know, again, I've heard on the grapevine, there's a margin of error on these type of things. And that was the increments them scales went up in were by 0.05. So Ben Chilong says it was flickering. But yet Ben Chilong, this jobber here, the rest of them are saying, well, you know, it's just what the contract is and... What? We was on weight, man. That's what we was. We was on weight until a judge or a jury decides otherwise. I'm not doing all that. That's Eddie Hearn's job to say I was overweight. That's not your job as Eubank's manager to be, oops, busted, you got us. What can I say, man? Yeah? Margin of error is what we're playing with. And never mind margin of error. We saw the moody scales. They were getting kettlebells out. Overweight for what? It wasn't like he was 3 pounds out. It was talking, come on. Come on.
Over by whatever, it's a fine. We're over, so it is what it is.
The main thing is any concerns for his safety and his health going into the fight tomorrow, because that's the biggest concern from everyone.
Chris is in good health.
Yeah?
We'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Okay. And with regards to the weighing tomorrow, what's he just said?
No, we got told that the weigh-in was between 11 and 1. We got there about 12:15, and they said you've got 10 minutes to figure it out.
So how does a miscommunication like that happen?
Everyone hates Chris, right? It was a famous TV program, isn't it? It's coming to life.
I'm not sure when is that, from the 90s, or I've not seen
Something like that, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone hates Chris.
But it is, I don't want to blab on about it like excuses and whatnot.
Yeah.
We're confident of getting the win tomorrow. So the energy staying focused on that. Tomorrow we're going in there to brock up my man.
Okay, and just out of curiosity, who told you that the weighing was at that time?
No, that's the itinerary that we got sent.
Okay, and then with regards to the reception today, who do you think is going to get booed and who's going to get cheered tomorrow night?
Looks like.
So again, he said there, oh, they sent us the itinerary and it was between 11 and 1 and we got there at 12:30 or whatever time he said he got there. And I got other interviews coming in a second. They say, we're supposed to have an hour. Once we get there, we were supposed to have more time to weigh in. We've seen it before with UFC. They weigh in, they miss it, they get given a certain amount of time. This dude here, he says we were told between 11 and 1. We get there at 12. Now, I don't know, maybe he's lying and that's why he's acting all stupid and shit. But if he's not lying, if I had an itinerary between 11 and 1 and I get there at 12-ish, I'm playing on that as well. We weren't over. Our contractual rights were abused. Yeah? Civil rights issue, people. That's what happened here. No doubt about it, man. Yeah? Oh, well, you know, and this, to some extent, it's a problem with the hood mentality as well. We're on the road, so we just want to fight. Yeah, that's all well and good. You ain't supposed to be a manager, tell the truth here, man. If all you're worried about is being on site on the night, that's not a manager's job. I hate to break it to you, it's just not. That's not your job. Your job is to get all these things in line. Yeah? About you had an itinerary, but oh, you know, it's just a game and it's how it went. And Eddie Hearn told me to get there later. Woo. That's crazy, man. Seriously. That's mad. But Eubank picked these plumbers to be in positions and hopefully he wins. I'm still backing him. But it's just about, it's a sorry looking, it's a messy look. It's just a messy. I can't think of one thing this team's done on point. Ben Chilong's known. He can't even read straight. He don't know the difference between 10 and 12. In fact, his lawyers don't even know the difference between 10 and 12. So you can't even have confidence in them, man. No one knows what they're doing in these sides, it looks like. Here's another video of Eubank's team. Here we go.
As well, but we've only got maybe 36 hours to go until we find out what's going to happen in this incredible rivalry at this point. Obviously, the weight was a big storyline, and I mean, by the margin of a AA battery, Chris Eubank Jr. did not make the 160. Why is that?
Man, who knows? He trained hard. He was disciplined in the camp. We calibrated the scales when they did the pre-weigh check, and it was the exact same. Then we get to the weigh-in, and he weighed the exact same. He weighed 159.9 on our scales, and he weighed 165 ounces on their scale, and we calibrated them. So what happened, I don't know.
So on the scales in the hotel, is it the hotel?
No, it's his personal scales that he carried.
That he actually came in underweight.
We carried the scales. We calibrated them together with the official scale and our scale.
So he says there, Jonathan Banks, Eubank's trainer, says, at the pre-weight check, because throughout the week they check the fighter's weight to make sure you're not losing too much. So he said at the pre-check weight, and this is well understood, in all big fights, you calibrate your scale, your home scale, with the commission scale. And he says we did it right there. They were both the same. And then we get there, bearing in mind as well the context, where we see Conor Benn's team getting a kettlebell out. Oh, it's off. And the board saying, don't worry, we'll fix it for you, Banks. They get there and it's all changed up. Now, what I will say is, Eubank's never come in 159.9 before. He's normally 159.5 or 159.25. Again, his ego, he thinks, I'm going to prove a point. I do think there's an element of that. I think Eubank thought, I'm going to come in, bang on 160. So I don't, you know what I mean? Just doing the Gucci, the Louis Vuitton jacket. This is where I do agree with Cena to some point. Some people, yeah, you might be a good fighter, but you got to use your head a little bit in these times. It can't all be ego. It can't all be the look at me show, because you're just playing yourself. That's what you're doing potentially. You got to be scientific in your approach. So all this time Eubank wasted being over and having to go back there, how much was that worth? You could have just come in 159.5. Now I'm not saying, I think the scales was moody too, but so many angles, it's just messy on all parts. You've got Eddie Hearn plotting, Massa Hearn's plotting. You best believe that. He been plotting, man. His granddaddy was plotting. Massa Calvin Candy Hearns the third was plotting. They've been doing that, man. Yeah? Centuries of plotting them man been doing. You best believe it. But you know that's understood. This dude here. Yeah? This dude here. This one here. This big old Nick here. Where is he at? Come on. Where is he at? I lost him now. That's mad. Where is he? Here he is. Come on, man. He should have been known this. He should have been known Massa Hearn plotting. And he should have been on his P's and Q's. Well, we're going to fight anyway. Well, really? Come on, people.
You think something was funky? Something was off with the scale?
No.
How much does this weight...
Do you think someone's off with a scale? He says, I don't know. I mean, not one of these men has been running point. Not one of these men has been running defence. I'll be running defence right now. The scales was moody. Oops. That was moody, man. I've got the video of it as well. You put a kettlebell on it. If you have to put a kettlebell on a weight, you don't know what you're doing. Fact. Conor Benn comes in super light and then puts 10 pounds on after. Like, no one's doing that. That's fake. That's fake news, people. I had to break it to you. That's super fake. The scales was fake, man. Our itinerary that Eddie Hearn sent, Massa Hearn sent, was fake. There's way too many fake things going on to me be sitting here and conceding it. Never mind the margin of error. Let's assume there was no Kabbalah scam on the masses. The margin of error. What's the law about that? 0.05 over. That's a flicker, man. Come on.
Become a factor in the sense that he had to drain down to where he couldn't get another 0.05 off.
I mean, it's a non-factor now. It's done and over with. And we just gonna focus on get ready.
So all these dudes here, oh, the vape was up me, man. Listen, this dude, we're just gonna crack on, and I get that mentality. A fighter, Eubank's mentality, which we'll show you in a second, he's correct. He should just crack on. He ain't got time to be worrying about nothing else. I agree with that for the fighter. But all these plumbers here who ain't fighting, really anyone could do these jobs. Your fiduciary duty is to protect your client. It's not to hang around. This Nick here texting, man. He was WhatsApping. Yeah, I'm at the big fight. Yeah, well, I'm on TikTok. I'm making videos. He wasn't doing his job. He was not. If he was, he'd have been there when Conor Benn was putting his gloves on. If he was, he'd have been there when Conor Benn's getting weighed in and moody kettlebells getting brought out. He'd have been there for that. That's where he'd have been. Not one man from his team was there. I've never seen something so ridiculous in my life. Ben Shalom wasn't there. Eddie Hearn was at Eubank's one. Ben Shalom wasn't even at Conor Benn's weigh-in. Ben Shalom wasn't even at the glove. It's a shambles. Seriously. Eubank employed some manager, Mazid Najad. The dude's a cricket fixer, allegedly. He plays cricket, man. What do you know? Nothing. Even Eddie Hearn buoyed him off, said, what would you know about this? And he don't know nothing. It clearly shows that. These men don't know what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I know more than them, though, that's for sure. Because these dudes don't know nothing. Oh, well, yeah, you know, we did calibrate our scales, and then I don't know what happened at the end of the day, but we got a fight. Well, obviously you got a fight. Shocking. Anyway, here's Eubank's bars, which give me some positive encouragement.
Eventful is an understatement, but guess what? That's the business we're in. Boxing is a very flamboyant industry. You never know what's going to happen.
You seem calm, which is a good thing.
I have no choice. What am I going to do? Get upset, get flustered, get angry at the situations I'm in at the moment? You know, £500,000 fine for being 0.5 pounds over the limit. It's unfortunate, but it's not going to affect the outcome of tomorrow night.
As you say, just such a small amount and such a lot of money, size of a factory, size of a car. It's quite hefty, don't you think? For you?
What can you do? You know, I asked them to let me go and urinate to get it off. They refused. This is the people that we are dealing with. No code. But at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason. And
Okay, so Eubank saying there, I asked to go for a wee. He wasn't allowed. Now again, as far as the manager and the promoter and all the jobbers that are involved, why are they not saying, listen man, our itinerary was between 11 and 1. We got there at X time, and we were told we couldn't do nothing else to take the weight off in less time. Or whatever, I don't know. You get the point. Maybe the problem is Eubank's team were just sloppy, / Eubank was dying to make the weight and he couldn't fit. Maybe he was just late. That's also a possibility. They were just late, he couldn't get it off, and that's why they're conceding all the points, because they really knew they was in the wrong. It doesn't feel like that to me though, yeah? Because if Eubank was really struggling to do the weight, then you'd still have your representatives there for Conor Benn's weigh-in. So this to me screams of incompetence. They don't even know what they've signed up to. They don't even know that their itinerary should have allowed them to have more time to go for a wee. No one's even challenging this. No one's even saying we ain't paying a bean and nothing, man. We'll let a judge decide. I'm taking records. What's that Eddie Hearn? What's that corny paid off Robert Fisher? The BBBOC plumber? What's that? You want me kicked out at 12:46 and not 1 p.m? No worries, mate. Click. I'll show the judge. That's what I'll be doing. Let's let the jury decide. That's 500 bags, man. What you got to spend? These man have lawyers on retainer. It don't even cost you nothing to go do a trial like that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's one of them ones. That's what I'll be doing. Let Conor Benn fight for this money if he wants it. Instead, they're just rolling over. Was this part of the plan to cause drama? That's what rings in my ear. It must be a plan to cause drama, because you man are going outside looking super silly with it. Super messy. Alright, so we've covered that Eubank one, but Eubank seems based. That's what I'd like to hear. Another thing that hasn't been, well, people have talked about it, but I haven't talked about it yet. Where is it? This one here. Billy Joe Saunders is due to be in the corner, checking Eubank's gloves. He makes some claims. Let's get to them.
Be overseeing the hand wraps of Chris Eubank Jr. From yesterday that you will be overseeing the hand wraps of Chris Eubank Jr. for his fight with Conor Benn. Just talk to me about how this even come about.
Me and Conor get on very well. We had a conversation. A few tactics. Yeah,
you get on well because you popped. Yeah, you popped when who was he supposed to fight? He was supposed to fight Demetrius Andrade, and he was off the gear. Conor Benn popped, so you two are poppers. Of a feather flock together. Yeah, you both cane in the gear and cheating. That's why you two get along. That's a documented fact as well. Both just slipped under the map though. I don't think Billy Joe got banned. The loophole Billy Joe used was, oh, well, I popped in Canada or something. So it's not the BBBOC don't have no jurisdiction, aka brown envelope. People, if I'm a commissioner and I'm truly just, I don't care if you popped on Venus. You pop, man. You're banned here as well. How about that? We ain't doing all that. Oh, well, I popped in America or Canada or somewhere corny like that, 100%. And I popped in Canada with a bunch of mooses. Oh, I was eating the moose meat, he said. Swear down. That's what Billy Joe said. Oh, I had the moody moose meat. It was the Moody Canada Goose. It was the Moody Canada Goose meat, man. That's what it was. It was the Moody Canada Goose meat, Billy Joe said. And the BBBO said, they said, listen. They went, yeah, Billy Joe, I think Hearn. What just want to hear? Hearn was it Hearn? Maybe it was Frank, but let's assume it's Hearn. I like taking the piss out of Master Hearn. Let's assume it was Hearn. Hearn was promoting Billy Joe's sausages versus Demetrius Andrade. Yeah? Billy Joe pops for being off the Moody Canada Goose meat. Yeah? Eddie Hearn's like this. This is I'm the BBOC players. Yeah? That'll sort you up. It was the moose meat, mate. Oh yeah! My name's Robert Smith. It was the moose meat, man. He clean with it. That's what he did. Fact. So don't talk... Billy Joe's sausage can't talk like that, man. He's dirty as well.
Me and Conor get on very well. We had a conversation. A few tactics. What I've put forward, and obviously the stacking situation, because we know Eubank stacks his hands, and I pointed that out to him, and we're going to try to obviously make sure that don't happen. I know we've got people under the watchful eye watching hands get wrapped, but sometimes in this sport it goes unnoticed unless you've got an eye for it. So yeah.
So Billy Joe said he's going to be in the corner watching Eubank's hands. People, I want to be watching. The way it's going, I'm not even sure they're going to have someone watching Conor Benn's hands. I'm going to watch out for the Sky News or the Sky Sports coverage of the hand wrapping. Do not be surprised if there's not one plumber from Eubank's team. And that'll be I might even take my bets off. If it turns out no one's there, it just tells me it's a proper scam. It's been fully rigged. It's looking pretty rigged anyway. I mean, I'm not sure how legal is that. Normally, it's someone from your team who checks the gloves, like the opposing trainer. It's not some foreign jobber, Billy Joe. Not that it matters to Eubank, but it's not done in good spirit. I've never heard of it before. I've never heard of bringing in some third-party jobber to watch the gloves be wrapped. And at the same time, I wonder, why ain't Eubank's team? I'll be bringing in Paynoud. That's what I'll be doing. I'd bring Paynoud in, the guy who popped Conor Benn, and have him sitting there watching the gloves. That's what I'll be doing. No doubt about it. Where's Paynoud in? Fly Paynoud in, man. Paynoud's a journeyman. He'll fly him for $5,000. Fly him in. And have him sitting there watching the gloves. To remind Conor Benn, you get popped, man. Your chin's no good. You got popped by an amateur. You got popped by a journeyman. At 140, man. You toast with me. I'm way too big, way too strong. Yeah? And if I was Paynoud, I'd be sitting there saying, man, listen, bro. If I was Eubank, if I was Eubank's manager, I'd have been flown in Paynoud. That's what I'd have been done. Yeah? Because Billy Joe didn't do nothing with Eubank. Billy Joe was getting waded all over. I'd fly Paynoud in and I'd tell him, man, I'll give him the bars. I'll say, listen, you'll sit there and I'll keep saying it. Assume I'm Paynoud. I'll be there. Conor's getting his hands right. I'll say, listen, man, you wasn't no good at 140, man. Never mind 160. You're way too small and you're way too chinny. Just repeating it. Yeah? You was never no good at 140. You're way too small. You're way too chinny. Never mind Chris Eubank. Yeah? You was never no good at 140. You was way too small and way too chinny against a journeyman plumber, myself, Paynoud. Never mind Eubank. That's what I'll be doing. What can Billy Joe say? Billy Joe got run around the ring for the last 6 rounds. He can't say nothing. He ain't got no bars. He ain't got no bars at all. Oh, YB, I'm going to get Liam Smith in. What did Liam Smith do? Liam Smith got punched up in the rematch, man. Not to mention he's a world champion. Paynoud's a French plumber somewhere. Where's the Paynoud? What's this dude here? This big Nick here. Where are he at? What's he getting paid 10% for, man? Where are the plays at? These man ain't got no plays. 10% of 10 million. Even if he's getting a fixed fee, he's probably making a couple $100,000 for what? Oh, I don't know. Eddie Hearn told me to get there late, so I got hit with the okie doke. Wow. Alright, so we've done all the things I think I got covered today. But yeah. All in all, I'm back in Eubank spiritually, but things aren't looking good. I was just searching up here, Victor Laughlin, checking the referee, and I thought if we saw that it was Howard Foster from the other weekend, then forget about it. Seriously, I'd take my bets off right now if it was Howard Foster. But it doesn't really matter. These referees, they're all employed by a corporation, the BBBOC. So when they get told when Massa Hearn allegedly goes, yeah, it don't matter who it is. It really don't matter who it is. And this Victor Loughlin, let's have a look. I've typed his name in, early stoppages. Stop. Oh, come on, man. Stop playing. Early stoppages. Because Derek Chisora admits the referee was right to step in. Okay, even that. I wasn't a big fan of that one, to be fair. Nick Blackwell. Oh, no. So the Nick Blackwell fight. Oh no, people, come on. Okay, it was fine. Okay, Chris Blackwell did get punched up, to be fair. He did get punched up. Okay, so forget. Maybe that was a good call. Where else are we? Oh no. Okay, no, that's alright. That's alright as well. Chisora and Fury, that's one that's come up. So he's not renowned, but that's how they hit you with it. This guy, Victor Loughlin, is not renowned for stopping fights early. It only takes one. That's what it does. Oh, they do that. Oh, look, this referee's legit. Oops. That's how they hit you with it. They get someone who looks half alright. Bash. Oh, he's only had... Because listen, if they brought Howard Foster in after last weekend, there'd be a trend. They know how to circulate them. They bring in someone who's alright, and then bash. So, well, there's no trend. Look, here's the evidence. There's no trend of him jumping in the mix, so you can't tell nothing with these Kabbalah scams. But the Chisora and Fury fight, I get why it was stopped, but it probably wasn't... Fury weren't doing nothing in there, man. He couldn't punch for nothing. So, the point is, people, the trend is, the ring's small. You've got Billy Joe Saunders looking at the gloves. You've got the whole weight debacle with the Moody scales. You've got Conor Benn with the Moody gloves as well. You've got Conor Benn weighing in 156.4 yesterday and then coming in 165 today, which makes no logical sense. And implies the scales were bugged. Conor Benn has lost no weight at all. He was 165 yesterday on the scales. And he's 165 today because he hadn't lost nothing. He didn't weigh in. Yeah, he didn't weigh in. They weren't even bothered about him weighing in. That's my base case right now. And it's this whole thing's set up for Ben to win. Yeah, no, I don't trust Eubank's team either. What are they putting in his drink? I think Senior even said, not about this fight in particular, but Senior said at one point, don't drink no one's drink unless I give it to you. Senior's not there. He's not perfect, but still, Senior's not there. Do I trust this plumber? I don't. Do I trust any of the plumbers around Eubank? I don't. So who knows, man? Who knows? The referee might jump in and stop it early. There's a precedent for that these times. And I think the narrative, what's dangerous here about a Kabbalah referee scam, early stoppage scam, is that, what do we know? They've set the narrative for, he weight trained with it. Ooh, you watch all the things getting pumped. Ooh, he dangerous with it, man. Ooh, he darn it to weight. Oops. How does that lead into the referee? Conor Benn lands about 4 punches in a row. I've stopped it. Hey man, why'd you stop it? There was 4 punches. He had his hands up. Well, he's weight trained and they didn't want to take no risk. Oops. You see that one there? That's how they hit you with okie-doke. They condition your mind psychologically. Oh man, Eubank's down at the weight. Oh, he missed. Oh, he's dead at the weight. Oh. Johnny Nelson coming out, well, I don't even want this fight to happen now. There's a whole bag of man saying that. And I'm not saying they're right or wrong, but that's how you get hit with okie-doke when it gets stopped early. So the narrative's built in. Well, we had to stop it early. We had to stop it after Ben landed the first shot on Eubank's gloves because he's weight trained and we couldn't take no risk. But anyway, I think something fishy is coming, if I'm honest. I think a big fish tastique is coming. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, people. I got Eubank still. We ride Eubank till the wheels fall off. Smash the like button, subscribe, like for the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about it. Some people stop it. Bash.